He called out breakfast orders with the same calm precision he'd once used to coordinate military operations. But at McDonald's, nobody knew that the soft-spoken cook had a Purple Heart hidden in his apartment. That changed when a customer heard his voice and remembered the radio operator who'd saved his unit in Fallujah. Alpha 6, this is Base. We're getting you home. Welcome to Echoes of Main Street. Before we begin this powerful story of recognition and unexpected reunions, tell me in the comments what city you're watching from today. And if you believe stories like this deserve to be heard, hit that subscribe button. These forgotten heroes walk among us every day. The McDonald's on 79th Street in Chicago wasn't much to look at, but it served the working-class neighborhood with dignity. Behind the grill, Miguel Santos worked the morning shift with quiet efficiency. 42 years old, salt and pepper beard, hands that moved with practiced precision. He'd been there 2 years, ever since moving from San Antonio. His co-workers knew him as reliable and polite, always early, never called in sick. His voice was distinctive when calling out orders. 2 egg McMuffins, hash browns, orange juice, order 12 ready. Deep, calm, with a slight Texas accent that customers found comforting. What nobody knew was that Miguel Santos had served 3 tours in Iraq as a communications specialist with the 1st Infantry Division. From 2004 to 2009, his call sign had been Base, and his voice had been a lifeline for hundreds of soldiers operating in dangerous territory. He'd coordinated supply runs, called in medical evacuations, and guided lost patrols back to safety. The transition to civilian life hadn't been easy. The McDonald's job was simple, structured, with clear procedures that reminded him of military protocols without the life and death stakes. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest work that paid the bills. On this Tuesday morning in November, the breakfast rush was typical. At 7:23 a.m., a young man in a Chicago Bears hoodie walked through the front door. Danny Martinez, late 20s, with the bearing of someone who'd served. Straight posture, alert eyes, purposeful movement. Danny was running late for community college classes, using his GI Bill benefits to study automotive technology. His unit had served in Iraq from 2007 to 2008, some of the worst months of the war. He'd been a machine gunner running convoy security out of Forward Operating Base Liberty. As Danny waited in line, he heard the cook calling out orders from the kitchen. Order 15, 2 sausage biscuits, hash browns, coffee. Something about the voice triggered a memory, like a radio tuning into a distant station. When Miguel spoke into the drive-through headset, "Welcome to McDonald's, how can I help you today?" Danny's blood ran cold. The tone, the cadence, exactly matched a voice from his worst night in Iraq. March 15, 2008. Their convoy hit by an IED outside Fallujah. 2 vehicles disabled, 4 wounded, insurgents closing in. Danny's squad took cover in a bombed-out building, surrounded and running low on ammunition. That's when the voice came through their radio. "Alpha 6, this is Base. I have your position. Medical and reinforcements are en route. Hold your position for 15 minutes." For the next hour, that calm voice had been their lifeline, coordinating air support, guiding medical helicopters, updating on enemy movements. The voice never wavered, never showed panic. "Alpha 6, this is Base. We're getting you home." And they had made it home, all of them, because the man on the radio had done his job with precision and courage. Now Danny was staring at a McDonald's kitchen, trying to process the impossible. When his order was called, he approached the counter slowly. "Order 17, Miguel announced, sliding the bag across. As Danny reached for his food, their eyes met. Miguel saw a young veteran. The bearing was unmistakable. Danny saw an older man, grayer than he remembered, but the voice was identical. "Excuse me, Danny said quietly. "Were you stationed at FOB Liberty? In Iraq?" Miguel's hand paused over the grill. "I was. 2007 to 2008? Communications?" Danny's eyes filled with tears. "You were base. Your call sign was base." Miguel set down his spatula and really looked at Danny. "Alpha 6, he said softly. "March 15th, IED attack outside Fallujah." Danny nodded, unable to speak. "You saved us. You saved all of us." The McDonald's buzzed around them, but for Miguel and Danny, everything else stopped. Miguel came around the counter, and the two men embraced. "I was just doing my job," Miguel said. "Your job saved 6 lives that night," Danny replied. "We all made it home because of you." Miguel's manager, Rosa, saw the emotional reunion and told Miguel to take all the time he needed. They moved to a corner booth and talked for 30 minutes. Danny shared his post-deployment life, his education, his struggles. Miguel talked about his transition difficulties and finding peace in structured work. "I always wondered what happened to Alpha 6, Miguel admitted. "We'd coordinate operations, save people, and never know if they made it home." "We all did," Danny said, "and I need to tell them I found you." Over the following weeks, Danny reached out to his old squad mates. One by one, they reconnected, not just with Miguel, but with each other. The McDonald's became an unofficial meeting place for impromptu reunions. Williams drove from Denver. Rodriguez flew from Phoenix. Johnson came from Alabama. They met on a Saturday when Miguel wasn't working, and for 2 hours, that corner booth held more military history than most people encounter in a lifetime. The reunion changed Miguel's perspective. For years, he'd felt disconnected from his military service. But seeing these successful, thriving men reminded him that his service had mattered in ways beyond awards and recognition. Miguel continued at McDonald's, but with new understanding. When he called out orders, he remembered his voice had once been a lifeline. The job hadn't changed, but his appreciation for his own capabilities had evolved. Danny finished his program and got a dealership job, but still stopped every Tuesday for breakfast. Not just for food, but for the reminder that heroes don't always wear uniforms. Sometimes they wear aprons. 6 months later, Miguel received a framed photograph of Alpha 6 Squad, signed with the message, "To base, the voice that brought us home. Thank you for everything." He hung it next to his Purple Heart, finally proud of both his military service and civilian life. The McDonald's on 79th Street looks the same, but if you listen to the voice calling out orders, you might hear something special. The calm precision of someone who knows clear communication can make the difference between chaos and safety, between being lost and finding your way home. So have you ever encountered someone whose voice carried more weight than you realized? Share their story in the comments, because at The Human Stories, we believe recognition has the power to heal and transform. Subscribe and help us honor service in all its forms. Sometimes the most important voices aren't the loudest. They're the steady, reliable ones that guide us home when we need them most.